I'll never forget the first paranormal experience I had. I was in 4th grade at a Catholic private school when Apple's iPod Touch first came out. It was extremely popular and I wanted one so bad. That Christmas, I did get one, along with a beautiful white desk. I was sitting on its matching chair in the corner of my room, where the desk was set up, when I decided to make a video using my brand new piece of Apple technology. As a kid, I was also really into YouTube. My favourite YouTubers included Michelle Fan, Bethany Motor, and Smosh, but that's beside the point. I'd always wanted to be a YouTuber, but the social media platform's rule was that the user had to be at least 13. I could have always lied, but the 10-year-old me would have responded to that with an indignant, "God wouldn't want me to do that." And so, I was making a poor quality video that would be shared with my friends through a school provided email account. I propped up my iPod on the base of a turned off desk lamp, and it hit record. "Hey everyone!" I exclaimed with a dramatic hand gesture. I didn't really know who everyone was at the time, but that's how most famous YouTubers I watched carried on with their intros. So, why not? In summary, that horrible video was me over-dramatically reacting to a fireball. Fireballs were spicy little hard candies which had made an appearance in my stocking that year. Looking back, candy really wasn't even that hot, but I guess I had to be entertaining, just like my favourite online personalities. I popped the little red jawbreaker into my mouth and started to flail my arms, making inaudible noises and gestures to my mouth. Throughout filming, I remember seeing something out the corner of my eye in the corner of the iPod screen, which acted as a viewfinder while I recorded. After doing a classically drawn out farewell, I turned off the camera and plopped down onto my bed to watch the result. Excitement quickly turned to gut-wrenching fear when I saw what appeared to be a white t-shirt fluttering in and out of frame. It was as if someone held it above their head and blew hard on the end of it in order to make it flutter wildly. I probably wouldn't have been as frightened if I could find a logical explanation, but no fan was on, nobody was in my room, and I wasn't even sitting by a damn closet. I can't even say now that it was some kind of glare or trick played by the lighting of the room, because the opaque white fabric was unmissable and was as solid and clear as a person standing 2 inches from your face. I continued watching as growing dread gnawed at my insides. The fabric not only continued to flutter in and out of the frame, each time it was coming close to where I was sitting, but it appeared as if on camera my overhead light was flickering on and off. This never happened while I was filming. Then, it was as if something blew, because the room became blindingly bright. Again, this never physically happened while I was filming. When the camera finally recovered from the sudden exposure of light and began picking things up normally again, the piece of white fabric flew across the room and hit the wall behind me and crumpled to the floor. Nothing else happened throughout the duration of the video, and as soon as it ended, I looked up to where what looked like a t-shirt should have been laying. There was nothing there. Freaking out, I ran out of my room and downstairs into the living room where my parents were watching a movie. They noticed my facial expression along with pale skin and asked what had happened. I was too petrified to tell them. The next day, at my aunt's annual belated Christmas party, my cousins and I were all playing. I fished the new iPod Touch out of my pocket to show them the apps I had downloaded, which led to me showing them the video that I still have in my camera roll. They told me that all of the occurrences were things any human could cause, and it was probably just my sister helping me out in order to prank them. I deleted the video that night, feeling like I was going insane. Our home is new, with no previous residents, so it couldn't have been ghosts. Throughout the next couple of years, I became accustomed to strange dreams, unexplainable sounds, apparitions, and the feeling of someone watching me. I wrote these off as coincidences or paranoia. Now, I'm 16, and I'd just recently gone on a trip to New York with my mother and our neighbour. Somehow, a casual conversation over my lunch at dinner led into the paranormal, and I'd brought up what happened to me many years ago. My mum laughed and shrugged it off, but my neighbour looked at me oddly. "What?" I asked, taking a sip of my root beer. Candice told us years ago that she made friends with a man who owned a farm where we lived. Our neighbour replied. Candice was their youngest daughter. I furrowed my eyebrows and asked her for an elaboration. Our neighbourhood is built on the remnants of an orchard, she said. It wouldn't necessarily be uncommon for a farmhouse to be there too. I pondered her story as our food arrived. I was just surprised someone else had weird experiences as well. She shrugged as a burger was sat in front of her. After we got home from New York, I told my dad about our conversation and asked if he knew anything. He appeared as if I'd struck a nerve and launched into a story of a man who had owned the orchard that our neighbourhood was built on. He'd actually refurbished a barn to make it livable for him and his family. How did he die? I asked apprehensively. He was in a tractor accident, Dad replied. But he survived. I looked at him oddly as if to say, I asked how he died, not how he almost died. Dad rolled his eyes and continued. His injuries were so bad that he was bedbound and had to be taken care of by his wife. One day, he didn't want to bother her, so he decided to change clothes himself. As he was taking off his shirt, his spleen ruptured. I internally reeled back in shock, remembering the t-shirt in the video. How do you know this shit? I asked incredulously. He was my great uncle, Dad replied with a sigh. Thank you for listening to the end. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to click that like button, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon to make sure you never miss a story.